We might have a battle on our hands.
Okay, here's the deal. We have a carbon street trials bike here called the Extention Avenger. We unboxed it a few weeks ago, but now it's time to put this bike to the test. I'm gonna make one change before we go out. I'm gonna put my pair of Magura MT7 brakes on this bike because they're already broken in. I don't wanna deal with bedding in new pads and all that stuff. We're just gonna put in brakes that I know work, and we're gonna go out and ride all of my favorite local street trial spots to see how this bike stacks up against the other bikes I've ridden there. So let's go out for a ride. Ooh, one other thing. I'm gonna rock some shin pads on this ride because I recently saw one of Extension's top riders had quite the shindig. These pedals are certainly sharp, so I'm gonna have a little extra protection for this ride.
We made it into downtown Portland. You know, it's been kind of a crazy summer and I haven't had a lot of time to come down here to ride in the first place. So now I'm here on a brand new bike, testing it out. Should be fun to explore some of my old favorite spots. This is a super good spot for warm-ups. I feel kind of warmed up. Let's try another line. I knew that was gonna happen. Of course, the one thing I forgot to bring was an Allen wrench. All right, we're back on track. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think that was gonna happen. It seems to happen every time I put a new bike together. I don't use a Torx wrench, and I probably should, and then I go out and do one big gap, and then all of a sudden, the bars shift backwards. So I can just hear Terrace shaking his head. I should have a torque wrench so that I get this right. I'm always afraid to over-tighten carbon bars, and here we are. The only thing to do now is go right back to where we had the mechanical and get it done. How sick is this spot, though? It's even better when the water gets turned off. Much better. Let's move on. You know, the one thing that I'm definitely feeling on this ride is how stiff this frame actually is. Every time I push down on the pedals, it feels like I get 100% of the effort back instead of the frame flexing just a little bit. Maybe I only get like 85, 90% of the effort in. So having a carbon frame on all the carbon bikes I've ever ridden, that's the one thing that always stands out. The stiffness and then the transfer of the energy that I put into the bike always comes right back. And that's really the main differentiating factor. Like if you want to put all the effort in, you get all of it back versus just losing a little bit. You really feel it when you ride a carbon bike. This is the spot right here. We might have a battle on our hands. The first part of this is actually the trickiest because you have to bunny hop into the transition in manual. So if I get that part, I'm good to go. I knew I should have just filmed the whole thing all in one shot, but I wanted to show the top bit because that's the part I struggled with. See how much we can actually get here. One thing I say a lot is that good riders actually ride in between the spots, and this is exactly what I mean right here. Woo! Woo! Does this bike manual well? Check. So we're getting to the point of this ride where I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable on the bike. The one thing that really stands out to me is how responsive it is. And I'd say about half of that is the carbon frame. The other half is the geometry. It's got a steeper head angle than I normally ride. And the back end of it is really, really short. So I'm really getting my manuals down. I mean, I haven't tried to manual anything like this in quite some time. And I'm having a pretty good time on it. So some things definitely stand out that make this a little bit different than the other 24-inch trials bike that I ride. Let's move on to the next spot and see how it goes there.
Next spot, time to build up that bunny hop confidence. I'm not exactly sure why, but this is where I always come when I get a new bike to get confident doing bunny hops. It's where I first started bunny hopping, and I always just feel like coming back to it is some level of confidence already built in. So I'm gonna work on my timing here, we'll get some bunny hops locked down, and then we'll continue on.
My technique getting comfortable with bunny hops is to first pedal up onto the obstacle just to get the feeling of lifting the front wheel up and over and my timing, and then I go for the bunny hop itself.
The first ride on the Extension Avenger is complete. It was a lot more responsive than I expected it to be. I had a great time testing this bike out. A big thank you to Trials Superstore for sending this my way. Can't wait to see what we get to test out next. Now, if you missed the unboxing, go check out the video right here. And if you want to learn some trial skills, go check out this video right here.